Break it down for us. Where are we? This was the deal of the year, the fight of the year in media M&A. Where are we?
Well, listen, Rupert Murdoch really should be sending Brian Roberts a thank you note, right? Because he's really driven up the price for the Fox asset. So when Brian Roberts, even though he bowed out of the race yesterday, he really did force Disney to pay 35% more than what Rupert and Bob Iger agreed to back in December. And I think, you know, as we said in the story, Rupert Murdoch is really laughing all the way to the bank.
Well, and I love some of the details you had in the story about this sort of meeting of the minds between Murdoch and Iger at Murdoch's Vineyard, of course, in the Los Angeles area. You were at Sun Valley, where obviously this was a lot of this was happening behind the scenes, presumably. Absolutely.
And look, this came down to a relationship between Rupert Murdoch and Bob Iger as well. And when we were at Sun Valley, it was really interesting to note who was hanging out with who was going to breakfast together. And Bob Iger went and had breakfast with Rupert and Lachlan Murdoch at a very prominent table on the first day, and everyone just went, "Ooh, look at that! That's a baller move." When Bob Iger arrived, yeah.
Can we also glean anything from the fact that the three of them got together and Bob Iger said, "Look, you let me have Fox, you can go ahead and take Sky. Like, we'll step back from that. You can rebid." Like, is that the horse trading that went on here, or are we going to wind up with a Sky that's partly owned by Comcast and partly owned by Disney?
So the thing is that they weren't allowed to talk to Comcast as part of the merger agreement. So Bob Iger maintained the whole way through that his merger agreement with Fox didn't allow him to actually do that. Because if you're Rupert Murdoch, that might have actually driven down the price that you could have got. So you don't want that to happen. And you know what? I mean, there is talk that Disney may let them have it, but there's actually nothing to stop Disney after next week to come in and make its own offer for all of Sky. I mean, Bob Iger did say that he thought Sky was the crown jewel in the assets that he was acquiring. I don't know if he's going to go away so easily.
So, Nabila, your life gets busier from here, I would imagine, because the sense is that this may unlock a little more, or maybe a lot more, M&A in the media world. What's your sense?
Exactly. Look, we were talking to David Zaslav of Discovery at Sun Valley, and he was saying, look, this is going to make my company so much more valuable. I expect the street to come and take a look at me and drive up valuation. Of course, he would say that. And, you know, you've got movie studios like Lionsgate on the block. There's Endemol Shine, which is a content company that's on the block as well. And everybody's sort of scrambling around to see what's the next asset that they can get to help them better compete with the Netflixes of the world.